Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. Wow, there's a lot of stuff going on in the crypto minute this morning. I mean, there was just so much. I mean, I think I had, let me see, I had 13 points I needed to make, and it was a lot. It was a heck of a lot. Let's start off with China. So China is being special. China said, hey, we need to start taking a look at all these cross-border crypto transactions, and we're going to start cracking down on them. Yeah, that could actually wind up being a problem for those in China that are interested in using crypto. Yes, Hong Kong is a part of China, but somehow Hong Kong is doing things differently, kind of, sorta. So I need to pay a little bit more attention to that relationship that's there, because they refer to China as mainland China. So there are slight differences, but I'm wondering if this new rule also covers what's going on in Hong Kong. Then we've got Vitalik Buterin. Vitalik Buterin said, you know what? I'm giving up 50 ETH to the defense of the developers of Tornado Cash. That's about $170,000. And he gave it over to Justice Dow, which actually administers that stuff. That's actually pretty cool. That's the community speaking up for the community and defending the community. That's a very, very big deal. Now, something else that I was paying attention to, Balancer in terms of DeFi has been, just picking up steam all over the place. Until one day, Uniswap just kind of flexes its muscles and says, yeah, we're going to lead that volume. $2.9 billion in volume outperforms Balancer. And that's across two different smart contracts. That's a big deal. That's a bigger deal than what most people think. You should be paying attention to that. I have nothing against Balancer. Balancer's probably pretty cool. But Uniswap flexing like that in terms of volume, that says a lot of people definitely love Uniswap. Something else that's going on. Have you been paying attention to what's going on over at Ripple? Ripple has been on a little bit of a tear. I mean, we'll go over it when we go over the numbers in a little while, but Ripple's been on a little bit of a tear. Brad Garlinghouse came out and said, yeah, I think 2025 is going to be a great year for Ripple. Really? Really? I'm not sure if yeah. I mean, they're playing nicely with the new regime. That's probably going to bode well for their SEC cases. Even if the new regime didn't win, I think the SEC cases would still go well for Ripple. They really are in the driver's seat. And I think when you look at the new regime coming in, a new SEC director coming in, you sit there and you kind of go, yeah, what case do you have? Take the 125 million and walk away. Call it done. Call it done. So I can see that happening very quickly. And I can see things for RLUSD taking off, which would also drive XRP. I can see that taking off. So you can see how RLUSD truly becomes the wagon that comes with cash all the time. Then it turns into wagons because it's going to be so much cash. Don't believe me? Look at how much money Circle makes from their USDC. Look at how much Tether makes from their USDT. Even with USDT being kicked out of the European Union. I think that's a stupid move by the EU. I mean, just really? You can't be that dumb. You can't be that dumb. Nobody's going to stop using USDT. Whether they have to use a VPN or other means, I don't think anybody's going to stop using USDT. That is a dumb decision to do. You should figure out how to work with USDT and collect taxes from them. The more money they make, the more money you make. As long as they operate within legal bounds, which they do. The only reason why you're going after USDT is because so many people use USDT. So many people use stable coins, and you want them to use a CBDC. Keep walking down that road. That's not going to bode well for you. It's not going to bode well for you. Then we've got the FCA. FCA out in the UK, United Kingdom, is talking about how they have had limited success in getting rid of the fraudulent crypto ads, and they seem to be hitting a brick wall. I'm trying to understand how what they're saying is they only have a 54% compliance rate. And I'm just sitting back and I'm just going, how? Right? You have the advertiser and you have where they're advertising. You should your rate of success should be in, like, at the very least in the 80s. It should be in the 90s. Because I would define success as, well, you ran this ad, you're going to pay this money because it's a fine. Have fun with that. So fix your ads or pay these fines. And with enough fines that you pay, you might not be able to stay in business. That's how I would have written that rule. Of course, I probably would have also better defined, what a crypto ad is or what a fraudulent crypto ad is. So yeah, but that's how I would have enforced it. But they are saying that they're going to have new regulation in 2026, which they're warning people is going to have a lot more bite. And I'm sitting back and I'm going, you should have more bite in 2025. There's nothing wrong with that. Nobody wants fraud. Nobody wants fraud. And nobody wants, a newspaper or a venue or whatever to promote fraud. So somebody had to pay for the ad and somebody had to run the ad. See where I'm going? So if you've got a billboard someplace and you allowed somebody to put up something that was fraudulent, first call is, hey, that's a fraudulent ad. Take it down. Okay, we take it down. Who's the customer? Oh, that's the customer. Okay, cool. We won't give you a fine because you reacted properly. We're not expecting everybody to know what fraud is. But if we tell you it's fraud, we expect you to react properly. There are different ways that you could do things. Really are. So yeah, the FCA and having a hard time. Okay, get somebody that's better at enforcement, write better laws. Maybe work with the industry to help the industry actually combat fraud on its own, or in addition to. Some good ideas. I think so. Right? Then you have the IRS. So there was a form that was given out that said, or there were rules that were given out that said that the centralized exchanges that operate in the United States must notify the United States government about your transactions that trigger a taxable event, sales, right? If you sell or withdraw. And that could mean that I have coins sitting here, I want to move it over there. When I go to move it, that is a taxable thing unless I can prove to the IRS, no, that's also my wallet. I was just maneuvering from one wallet to another. Okay, cool. But in the case of I sold my Bitcoin, well, that's different. Now we got to find out what that is. Then you've got, just other transactions that can happen that can create a taxable event. Talk to your CPA, talk to your tax advisor, talk to your tax accountant or tax attorney rather, so you can understand what a taxable event is and how it affects you and your bags. But the IRS found out that nobody's ready to enforce that. Nobody's ready to give people, their choice of first in, first out, or highest in, highest out in terms of accounting practices for crypto transactions. Because first in, first out would cause you to have to pay far more taxes than highest in, highest out, right? So you've got to figure that one out. And that's not easy. That's not fun. Then you've got, just everything that's going around with the IRS. You're sitting back and you're kind of going, so right now we get to choose how we report this year from starting in 2025. That's fine. But at some point, companies like Coinbase and Gemini and Kraken, everybody who does business, every centralized exchange that does business in the United States is going to have to report to the United States. This is what they did. And the problem for you is going to be the exact, transaction I gave you. I didn't sell my crypto. I moved my crypto from this wallet to this wallet. Or I sold and I didn't make a profit, or I sent it someplace and I didn't make a profit. Like you're going to have to show those records, because the IRS is going to have the records beginning in 2026. The IRS will have the records from the centralized exchanges, and then you're going to have to report so that they match, or have good reason that they don't match, right? Talk to your CPAs, talk to your tax advisors, speak with your tax attorneys. Get straight with that. That's not a, oh, it's not a big deal, blah, 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 blah. No, it is a big deal. We're talking taxes. I pay my taxes. Why? Because I feel, in my head, I've trained myself to say, well, if I'm paying taxes, I'm making money, right? Now it's my job to make sure that I can pay as little taxes as possible legally. But if I have to pay taxes, I made money. If I made money, I should be happy. That's food on the table. That's future for my family, right? That's how I look at it. So that I'm not, everybody else looks at it, oh man, taxes, yeah, nah. That'll get you thinking the wrong way. That will get you thinking the wrong way and have you doing stupid things. And eventually those things catch up with you. If you're smart, talk to your CPA. I just spoke with mine about this very topic last week. She was like, oh yeah, no, you got to do that. Except that, it's not going to be a big deal for next year, for this year. So don't worry about it. And when I give her my information on, what I'm doing with crypto, she gets a whole spreadsheet of all my transactions. What I've purchased, what I've sold, and then you can also see what's just gone out the door for whatever reason. I report that, okay, cool, all done. And she knows how to do first in, first out, highest in, highest out. She's a real CPA. So just saying, get yourself a good CPA that understands stuff and do something about it. Now, I will say this, not all CPAs are up on crypto, but CPAs have to learn every year in order to maintain their CPA, their certification. So think about your CPA. If you're, and it really does. I talk about this a lot in my upcoming book. The upcoming book is GMB3, and it's all about the 3 rules, right? Do your own research, know your entries and exits, invest deliberately, right? And what we figured was, the full name of the book is going to be the GMB3, The Art of Research, Timing, and Deliberate Wealth. I kind of like that title. GMB3, The Art of Research, Timing, and Deliberate Wealth. So that's coming. So we talk about this in that book. But with regard to CPAs need to keep themselves educated to keep that certification. And I mentioned the other day that it's all about the clientele that a given CPA has. If the CPA does not have the kind of clientele that own businesses, do stock market stuff, stocks, options, bonds, treasuries, all that stuff, they'll keep up on it, but those aren't the skills that they use every day. See what I mean? So if you're not using the skills every day, you might not be up on how you can leverage, all those things. So if you have a CPA that doesn't deal with high-end customers, they're not going to know things like the Augusta rule. Go look that up, the Augusta rule. If you own a business, you should really know about the Augusta rule. So there are a lot of things that come to play to your advantage. The more money you make, the less taxes you have to pay, because there are certain things that are available to you with different levels of money that you make. That said, find yourself a really good CPA. This crypto stuff is no joke. I know a lot of people that do like tons of transactions, and a lot of people don't think about actually staging their transactions. Like, I'm going to group my transactions, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, so that it creates less of a tax burden for me. But doing all those transactions can become a bit much. So be careful and do your own research. All right? That's a very big deal. Then Jordan, this is crazy. Jordan is actually exploring blockchain tech because they want to monetize some certain government services. And I'm sitting back and I'm just going, that can't be mad about that. I mean, they're probably just talking about monetizing on the blockchain as opposed to just monetizing. There are lots of government services that you actually pay for. So I'm not going to be shocked. But I'm thinking that there are going to be more governments that are going to want to do that. There are going to be more governments, like take California. Yes, it's a government. It's a local government, so, local to the state. But look at California. They're going to make money with titles for automobiles. Why? Because it's on the blockchain, which makes it easier for them to track, right? The title industry, real estate, automobiles, that's going to be, it's not even going to be disrupted. It is being disrupted. When titles hit the blockchain, you'll be able to see everything that happened for that particular property. No BS, no lies. That's a very big deal. That's a very big deal because that's why they do title searches, right? Who really owns it, all that good stuff. Putting on the blockchain, there will be no doubt who owns it at that second. There will be no doubt. So I'm just saying, there are things that are changing, and that move in Jordan makes me think on a bigger picture. Then toward the end of last year, the end of 2024, there were in terms of the ETFs, there were more outflows. Not across the year, but it ended with outflows. Don't say I'm upset about it. I mean, just go look at how much money they've collected. The outflows only came to 426 million, and meanwhile, they've got tens of billions that came in. Yeah, I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about the ETFs. What does make me worry about the ETFs are people that go out and buy my first book, right? A first book, Crypto Foundations for Building Multi-Generational Wealth. I worry about ETFs because of this book. And people are probably sitting back and going, why? The more you know about crypto, the less you realize, the more you realize you don't need an ETF. That's why. The more educated the public becomes about crypto, the less they're going to need an ETF. You put your money in an ETF because I don't understand what they do, but I think they're going to make money. Go make money. But the more you understand, you start to realize, I can do that myself and not pay monthly fees. I think I'll do that, right? I think I'll knock that out. That'd be a smart idea on my part. I think I'll go do that. That's why I'm saying there's going to be a drain on ETFs around the world. There will be a moment where there are more and more people leaving ETFs, and they'll call them outflows. And then you'll see more wallets being created and funded because people are going direct. It's sort of like with treasuries. Most people do not know how to buy their own treasuries from the United States, but you can buy them directly. So if you get X percentage, usually it's like 5.5% or whatever it is, you can look to see how much treasuries are paying out, right? And the percentage that treasuries are paying out, the banks say, thank you for putting your money in here. We're going to go buy some treasuries. We're going to make money off of that. And we're only going to give you a percentage. Buy it yourself, and you can do it yourself. So you can go out there and buy, treasuries at 3-month pops, right? You can pick your duration and keep it moving. I'm just saying, there are a lot of things that you can do yourself now. And that's why I keep telling people, the banking industry has to figure out what they do now. Inserting themselves as a middleman to be able to do different things, earn money on your money, and then charge you for the right for them to make money from your money, that's called savings. You making money off of your money is called investing. I talk about that in my upcoming book as well. Again, the upcoming book is called GMB3, The Art of Research, Timing, and Deliberate Wealth. And that is coming out. I'm thinking in February. I'd like to get it done by the end of this month, but I'm thinking early February is when it's going to happen. It takes a lot. Yeah, you've got to. I've already written the first draft. I've already listened to the whole book to make sure, as best as I can, that it's correct. It goes into editing. It goes into although editing is going to be quick. They already told me it's going to be quick. And then it goes to layout, so that they can actually lay out the book and everything else, and artwork gets added to the book. And I thought about, putting in artwork into the book, and I was like, no, it's because it's really good reference material. It's really good. You should read the book, but it's going to be really good reference material. And this one, I can honestly say, I probably will do an ebook. And with that ebook, I will probably do an audiobook as well. Because it's a far bigger book than my first one. My first one gave you foundational information on crypto. This book is going to be way bigger, and it's going to show you how the GMB3, those rules, do your own research, know your entries and exits, and invest deliberately, how those 3 rules can be applied across crypto, the stock market, and even M&A when you're talking about, buying or selling a business. So yeah, it's chock full of nuts. It's chock full of nuts. Now, some people might say, oh no, it's a really big book, I don't have time to read it. If you're investing, I think you should read the book. There are a lot of people out there doing things that they don't really understand, and it goes into a lot of that stuff at a very, ground floor, easy to read, normal conversation kind of approach. Normal conversation. But it also comes with a table of contents that's no joke, so you can actually go and say, oh, I need to learn about this, and flip open to that section. Or I need a refresher on that, and flip to that section. Yeah, it's going to be that kind of book. I'm really excited about it. Then you've got Floy Dow. This is amazeballs, and I reported about this a while ago, but they just had the vote and everything's approved. Floy Dow greenlights the ETP launch. Floki, their DAO is going to launch an ETP in Europe for Floki. Understand that significance. If that works out, Floki's been on a rip. Floki has been on a rip. They've been cutting deals to market Floki, the use of Floki. They've been, just all over the place. Pay attention to that. Yes, I do have a bag of Floki. My son told me I have a deal with my son. I don't even have a deal. My son comes to me with different crypto ideas. I just do it. And he came to me ages ago about Floki. I was like, what the? Just do it, Dad. So I just did it. Bought ourselves a nice bag and just let it sit there. Didn't pay attention to it, nothing. And then I wake up one day and Floki's kicking tail, doing stuff like this. Yeah, it's a meme coin, but boy, they're growing up in a big way. Big way. And it's going to be traded on Switzerland's six Swiss exchange. Oh, I hate the name of that exchange. They're going to be bringing meme coins and traditional finance, bridging meme coins and traditional finance. That's big. I don't care what anybody says, people. That's big. Watch out for that. That's going to be huge. And it's laying the groundwork for other coins, other DAOs to do the same. So if it works out, this could be bigger than what we think. Now, for those that are into Squid Games, it happened the last time, and it looks like it's happening this time. There's the second Squid Games comes out, and there are lots of tokens that are coming out, a lot of scams that are coming out. Please be careful. That's all I can say is please be careful. I'm expecting there to be a lot of rug pulls from this because Squid Games just had like crazy audiences. So I do want you to pay attention to that. Benjamin Cowan warns that there could be a Bitcoin correction. There are a few people that are saying there could be a Bitcoin correction. Yeah, there could be. It could snow in the wintertime. It could snow in the spring. Yeah, there are things that can happen. There are also people on the other side of the coin saying, yeah, that could be true, but not right about now. Maybe later, right? Maybe. But we're seeing a lot of upside. I'm on the upside camp because I think we've experienced the correction already. And I'll show you when we go look at the numbers. And we're going to go look at the numbers in a slightly different way. I normally start with the GMB crypto tracker. I'm going to end instead with the crypto tracker. And there's a reason why. I'll show you. And I realize that every time I go through it, I'm like, oh, this is why. So we'll see. We'll see how you guys like it. Then Tangem Wallet. We spoke about this the other night. What was it? Tuesday night. One of the community members said, hey, for anybody that's using Tangem wallets, go get your update. There's a security flaw and there's a problem. I'm sitting back and I'm saying to myself, Tangem Tangem faces backlash for vulnerability exposing private keys, urging users to update their apps to mitigate risks. Yes, that equates to me to stop using Tangem Wallet. That's what it says to me. That's what it says to me, because that's scary. And it took community backlash to get them to move. Yep, yeah, I'm good off that. You know how I feel about that. If a community has to make a coin or a project or a company move, that's not a company I want to do business with. Not at all. Not at all. That's not the way I want to do business. Anyway, you know what we should do? That's right. We should get into the numbers. So, looking at today, we get initial jobless claims, construction spending. Tomorrow we get ISM manufacturing and some Fed speak. Something else that I'm paying attention to right there, auto sales. I am paying serious attention to auto sales. And you're probably wondering why. It's because I think auto sales is going to be a good number, but how are people paying for them? I also want to do research on how many people are having their cars repossessed. And I also want to see what kind of deals car manufacturers are going to be offering, because the better the deal, the more they're hurting. Just saying. Nissan, who is it? Nissan, Mitsubishi, and Honda. They're the ones that are getting together. Wow. I ought to tell you something. Fear and greed index is at 70. Not bad. DeFi Llama, we've got 135 billion in total value locked. I mean, you can see this drop right here, from here to here. So we'll see. We really want to be here, right? About that 200 mark. We'll get there, but it'll take a little bit for us to return. Then you start looking at Bitcoin and you start going, yeah, this is what I mean by we rose to hit new highs. There's the absolute new high right over there. And then we just started dropping precipitously. We hit below that 93,434 mark, right? After we crushed going above 99,655. So you could see that. But then we came barreling down. Then we had a nice rise up. Nice rise down, but DC, and we went deeper into that hole lower in the 91,000 range, and now we're fighting to get back to where we were. I want you to pay attention to something. 93,434 to 99,655. Just look at how tight that band is. This is where most of the trading has happened over the past few weeks rather. That's what I'm seeing. Basically, to me, it looks like we stepped up, and then we bounce around here. We hit another high, and we kept bouncing around there. That's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm paying attention to. I think we step up, consolidate, step up, consolidate. I think that's going to be the move for the next little while. And like I said, you can see these corrections. You see that pop there, drop, pop, move down, drop, pop, then another pop, and then started moving down, major drops, precipitously, just major drops. Let me look at that. From all the way over here to all the way down here in a very short period of time. Came back a little bit, another drop, basically to where it was. Another rise up, thought we were going to do something, and then a gradual drop down. And then here we are trying to come back up again. I'm thinking we could be on the edge of, just look at how it plays out. If we were to do this again, we could see that happen and stay above, 107 for a while, or 109 for a while. I'm thinking the next move is going to be 110. I think the next move is going to be 110, and then we'll consolidate between 110 and 120, the same way we're bouncing between 93 and 99. Just thinking. Because if we go back, we can start to see where we did the same thing, right? Where we consolidated within a space, and then we moved up. In this case, we moved up a lot. But if you keep going back, you can see how we kept stair-stepping all the way from like 16, 17, all the way up. We were stair stepping. We'd hit a new place, consolidate, hit a new place, consolidate, hit a new place, consolidate. And each of the times you'd see how we come back down. I'm trying to pay attention to that because I'm not going to be able to call it. I'm not going to be able to call it, but I still might be able to take advantage of it. And this is what I'm talking about. We went up, shaved some profit, come back down. Went up, shaved some profit, gonna come back down. Went up, shave some profit, come back down. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for those pops. I'm gonna shave off some profit, put that in my dry powder, and watch it come back down and not be upset, because when it comes back down, that's probably when I'm gonna use that dry powder to buy more. Right? Because it'll cost me less. So those are the kind of transactions that I'm looking for. Take my profit, put it in dry powder, come back in when it's lower. Buy low, sell high. It's not that difficult. It's the timing that's difficult. So I'm not going to be able to nail the timing. I might catch something like right about here and call myself taking profit when I should have taken profit there. I might have to consider taking profit again. And then on the pullback, just realize, oh man. So I might have to play that trade game. Now, there are times when I'm just buying crypto and I have my HODL wallets, and then I'm buying crypto and I have my trading wallets. That's what I'm paying attention to. That's really what I'm paying attention to, right? Then comes the big board. I don't want to try your beta right now. You see all this? All this to me all it says is, oh, there are opportunities to go out here and make some money. Solana's up above 200, almost at 210. Doge is up. Link is up. XRP is up. Everybody's up, right? But I'm sitting back and I'm going, there's just too much for me to, try to figure out. HBAR is up. You paying attention to that? Virtual is up. You paying attention to that, right? So I'm paying attention to all this stuff, and I'm like, this gives me a broad picture, and it helps. And then I come back and I look at the numbers over here, and I look to see, well, what's going on year to date, everything, because everything starts with a new slate. If I buy all my crypto today, or yesterday technically, I can start to see how much money I'm going to make year to date. I like following that throughout the year because it gives me an idea about what's going on. But I want you to pay attention to something. This is why I use the GMB crypto tracker, top 25 winners and losers. Look at this. Look at the loser side. Now, this is all under 5%, so I wouldn't pay attention to that. But look at that. Losers. Out of the top 250 coins, there are only 5 losers. What? Yeah, that doesn't happen a lot. It does not happen a lot. Let's see who's here. Yeah, not paying attention to this one. Even it's by virtuals. They say they're by virtuals. I don't know about that. I haven't done any research on it. Ondo US dollar yield. Not paying attention to that. I don't touch it, but look at the yield. If that's what you're into, that's not me. I've never heard of these guys, and that's it. Those are all the losers. Then you flip over to the winners, and the reason why I say I do this is because now I get to see, well, what's the GMBX factor for you to get back to your all-time high? Look at Farcoin. They're achieving all-time highs. That's what's going on. You slide on down, you take a look at Peak. Peak is up 25%. It's got a GMBX factor of 0.08. We learned about Peak before Peak started peaking. Just saying. One of the big baggers was like, yo, guys, you should pay attention to this. And here we are. Here we are, up 25%. If I would have bought Peak when he told us to buy Peak, 25% rise. So $1,000 turns into $1,250. Just saying. The big baggers come with research. We have conversations that are no joke. So if you're not a member, if you're not a big bagger member yet, go over to growmybag.tv/sign-up and become a big bagger. Our next big bagger meeting is on January 12th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I can tell you now, it's going to be big. For all you big baggers, I know CW, I don't have your email address, or a couple of people, I don't have your email addresses. If you did not get an email yesterday, please reach out to me directly on Instagram or Twitter, right? Because I need your email address. I need your email address. And I think there are only like 2 or 3 people that I don't have their email addresses. Grass is up. Grass is up 19%. Grass was just added to Grayscale's top 20 coins for first quarter 2025. Brett is up 19%. Stellar is up 19% with a GMB X factor of 1.03. Stellar is going to do it. Stellar's moving big. Then you've got Virtual's protocol up 17.91% with a GMB X factor of 0.10. Again, hitting new all-time highs. And everybody's sitting there going, where did Virtuals come from that they're ranked number 37? Yeah, pay attention, people. There are coins out there that are doing things that you should be paying attention to. BitTensor, up 16.72% with a GMB X factor of 0.46. Phantom is up 16% with a GMB X factor of 3.19. Phantom could actually do it. This Phantom could actually do it. Aerodrome Finance, up 16%. 16.34 if you want to be exact. Then it's got a GMB X factor of 0.53. That's saying, do I think it can hit that 0.53 as an uptick? Yeah, I think so. Half an X. This is what makes me make sense of all of this. That's why I have it. That's why I created it, right? Curve Dow up 15%. Everybody on this list is up double digits. Gala even up 14%. Render up 14%. Now, am I into Gala right now? No, I'm not. I sold off my Gala because, they have internal strife and all that good stuff. But I do hold a nice bag of Render. And Render has a GMB X factor of 0.75. Render has been just the gift that just keeps on giving. But anyway, that's a lot for today. We've got more news later on, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have our live. That's the Crypto Overflow. In case you didn't know, my morning show is called the Crypto Daily. It's all going to make sense in a little while. Trust me. All the shows have names. Anyway, this is Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. If you like what I'm doing, do me a favor. Hit the like button. Definitely hit the notification so that you know whenever I drop a new video, as well as subscribe. And definitely become a member because members have benefits. Everybody have a great day. Bye-bye.